Okay. There we go. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, guys. Now we're talking. How's it going, Stuart?
Yeah, good man. Can
How's
you
it
hear me?
going? How's it? Yeah, loud and clear, man.
Sweet, all good stuff, man.
Glad to have you around, man. Sorry if this Facebook thing. We tested the whole thing in the during the week, and I don't know what happened. I just hate the new software. That's what happens. Okay, Kevin and Fabricio are here already. I just posted in Facebook that we're jumping here to Zoom. So there we go. We got Kevin there. Bro, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Check, check. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Loud and clear also.
Good.
Excellent. Fabri, how's it going, man?
Finally.
Excellent. So we got a full house on the team. And I'm also shooting the link to the guys that were Andrija, also there we go. Shooting this to Tim as well. Okay. Just a second, guys.
Yes.
Good. So I'm recording this. I'm going to upload it if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay with you, Stuart?
Yes, mate, no problem.
Awesome. Okay, so while the rest of the guys jump in, I know Andrija is going to connect right now. He was kind of having some connection issues as well. I don't know. I guess that, well, Stuart here and the rest of the guys already know me. I've been the public face of the project so far. But it would be good if you, Kevin and Fabri, can take a couple of minutes to introduce yourselves.
Wait, Fabricio's mic is still muted though, I think.
Yeah, Fabri. I don't know. Maybe he can mute whenever he's ready.
Oh, okay.
Would you mind introducing yourself, Kevin?
Well, I'm Kevin. I'm 26 years old. I'm live in Arnhem in the Netherlands. I've been like study, not really study, but like when I graduate, I've been filming is like always you always learn a lot of things and always moving on. But till this day, I'm still like learning the whole cinematic movement, and so that's why when I'm graduated, I was like, how do you say that? Still, shit. What's the English word for that? You're always learning, and that's why like when I meet Gabriel, he came like with an idea about the movie, the whole concept, and I was like already hooked on it. But till this day, like even though I'm graduated, already working on many projects, it's still like a whole learning curve, and that's why I love the whole making movies, making content, making animated pictures. So, and currently, because of the Corona stuff, we're like, how do you say that? Kind of holding back. Not really holding back, but like we're on hold, especially here in the Netherlands, because all of the, how do you say that? The measurement, the Corona measurements,
The
because all
restrictions.
the restrictions. Thank you. Because all the restriction, and we're maybe going to another lockdown again around fall, I think.
We gotta shoot fast, sniper
Yeah, I
fast.
was gonna shoot fast. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what you wanna know anything about me. Just let me know.
Okay, Fabri, can you take a couple of minutes? Thanks for that. We'll shoot a couple of questions as more people come over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was discussing with my wife the other day what you're saying on that process of the creativity process.
Yeah.
When you start doing something and you finish it, you're not the same person. I was
Exactly.
telling my wife, it's like if you take a look at a script or a book you write, which is, I don't know, in terms of a script, around 80, 90 pages, maybe a little bit more. And when you write a book, 400 pages, 500 pages, uh, the you want to look back on your work and you're saying, oh wow, that beginning looks too amateur. What happened
Yeah,
there?
yeah, true.
But that happens every time. It's like
Every time, yeah.
you're maturing with time. That's all right. Awesome. Fabri, would you mind taking a couple of minutes? You're muted, bro. There you go. We got the man himself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice. I don't know what to say. I'm supposed to say.
Just introduce yourself, where you are, how you ended up in the project, how you're liking it.
Well, my name is Fabricio Solis. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Argentina, and well, I I'm started working on this project when Gabriel met me in a Facebook group. Do you remember that?
The stalker groups, yeah.
Yeah, project Stalker.
Everything nice sprouts out of there. That's like
True.
yeah, it's like a nice
Yeah.
plant, you know. It's giving fruits all over.
Well, that was unexpected for me. So I don't know. I just draw a lot, and sometimes I share some of my works on these groups. But it's a weird story because I published a drawing in another group before, and then someone invited me to Stalker group. So I jumped to there, and well, I shared these works, and uh, some people liked it. So uh, well, then you comment one of my works. I remember, and well, you tell me that you needed a comic artist for start working on this destruction story. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. It's it's been a long path since there. Actually, we were going to work on the Norris Kinson books first. And
Yeah.
then that was the original idea, and then it was like, man, we got the movie project in the freezer. The patrons still loving us and not throwing casting stones at us.
True.
I was working on the application adaptation, but the comic was I mean, it was, you have to make the best out of the worst. And this COVID thing, whatever, if it wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't be working on the comic right now, which I think it's an amazing thing. It's a fantastic chance. Okay, Andrej is joining right now. It's a fantastic chance to show what we've got, because that what's hard for me as a writer is to have an amazing story and just wait for it to be produced somehow for people to enjoy it, other than just a book. Sometimes people are not that fond of reading something. It's like they want something more graphic, like a short movie or a feature, even a comic, you know. And well, I remember your impressions when you read the movie script, and it was like, man, I just can't wait to share with this with you guys. And well, this is what happens. How's it going, man? We got a guy here, Andrija. It's his birthday today, so I
Oh,
dropped him
happy
a
birthday.
personal message. Yeah,
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
we're celebrating here. Okay. Stuart, well, speaking about Patreons, Stuart is getting featured in chapter 5. Fabricio is going to give some insight on that, and Andrija is going to be featured in the future. And I'm not going to spoil when, but yeah, in a couple of chapters, he's going to be around as well. So we're open to questions you guys might have. Andrija, if you want to share them in the chat. Stuart, if you want to open your mic. We're all yours, guys. Let us know what you want to know about the project, about us, anything. And Stuart, also speaking about things that sprout out of the stalker group, I saw your post. I already followed you on Instagram on those cosplay pics. I'm eager to see what happened because you did well on the Chernobylite contest. Good for
That's
you,
right,
man.
yeah, man. Yeah, cheers, man. Like I say, I mean, just quickly on the cosplay thing before I move on. Yeah, I mean, it's just been a sort of a pastime thing that I do. And I thought, you know, sometimes you don't want to share things on your personal pages, so I thought, right,
Sure,
so
yeah.
I'll set something up dedicated for it. So yeah, just try and do a little bit here and there. But no, I'll stay on topic for you guys. I won't derail you too much. So yeah, I mean, cheers for doing the feature for us this episode coming up. I mean, first question that comes off the top of my head is how many episodes or volumes is the comic planned to be? I can't remember if you mentioned earlier on in the sort of beginning days.
Okay, yeah, it's 12 chapters. The movie, the feature movie, was planned. Well, is planned because it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's still there, but it's planned to be around 90 minutes. And when it comes to scenes, when you write a script, you have to keep consistency between each arc of the story. So the story has 12 arcs. The last arc, the last chapter is the shortest one because it's kind of like the conclusion, wrapping up every single little detail. I'll try to not spoil anything here. It's a little bit hard because there are some twists in the middle and whatnot. But yeah, so what we are planning so far is February 2022 is going to be the release date for the last chapter of the comic, and we're going to publish in paperback afterwards. Okay, so we're going to let you guys know. Most likely for because we have been upgrading tiers throughout time. Um, so we're most likely for mid tiers. This is sort of like an exclusive here in the in the stream. For the mid tiers, we want to give you the book for free, so you can have the paperback comic with you guys in for free for your support throughout the campaign. And what we are trying to do in the meantime is, as we finish the comic, we can start shooting the movie. We're trying to have those two blend together. So as you move forward towards the end of the comic publishing, chapter by chapter, you also start seeing some live action stuff on the way. That's basically the plan.
Oh, that sounds good. So has it had, as well, but with people jumping as well, but has the doing the comic acted as a sort of more fleshed out storyboard for you as well? I mean, obviously storyboarding's early pre-productions thing, so yeah, I imagine it's helped you along the way with that.
Yeah, for real. A lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like very difficult because the thing is like Gabriel's on the other side of the world, and as a cinematographer to put something what he has in his mind on the screen sometimes too difficult because he's not on the set, so he cannot see if the camera is like too low or too high, or the whole background is too blurry, or what his end goal is. I cannot like literally put it on the screen. But thanks to Fabricio, he already how do you say that? Not right, but what's the other word? He already made everything what Gabriel has it in mind. It's much more easier to us to film the whole thing. But the thing is, it's always be difficult to find the right location, the right place, the right lighting. But we're gonna be there. It's gonna be all right because we got a great crew. Also like some friends also help with the project, but yeah, I cannot talk much about that at this moment. So it's gonna be great. I think. I hope.
Yeah, just
Very well.
go ahead, Fabri. Do you have any comments on this?
I don't know what to say because, I just draw the comic. I don't know anything about cinematographic stuff, but I think this may help you to shoot the movie, um, at least a little bit. But I think this is a great step for the project.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
the interesting thing here is that if you come to think about it, I mean, I'm in Uruguay, Kevin is in the Netherlands, Fabricio is in Argentina, and even though I mean I could drive to Fabricio's place, maybe not in a couple of hours because I don't have that kind of car, but in a good amount of hours, there has been this. I gotta be honest. I have worked on many projects in the last 10 years, and this is one, if not the first in the list, but yeah, I think it is because of the complexity. Everything is so organic. Everything has flowed in such a way. There's such a connection between the team members that Fabricio, for example, not knowing cinematography, he's got this natural talent of like placing things on screen. You're gonna see it. I mean, in the previous chapters, there hasn't been much action. It's sort of like warming up for the cool stuff, like introducing the characters, the places, some situations, and a couple more things. That's all right. But I mean, chapter 5 is the sauce. Is when when action is coming. We'll build in crescendo towards this. And chapter 5 is a really complex one in terms of laying it down, because you have Fabricius nodding. He knows what I'm talking about. He's been working restlessly for this one.
Yeah,
But the thing is that when you express action on screen or in paper, there are so many little details that make a scene plain and boring, or exciting and thrilling. And as I was when Fabricio provided me the drafts this week, early this week, I started thinking about the soundtrack that I was going to add, and how that would fit part by part. And believe me that when I was building the last part of the track last night, I was shaking. I mean, I was like, "Oh man, this is so awesome!" Maybe the shots and this and that and whatnot, and everything was so nicely and so professionally laid down, like the like how every single detail is laid down. It's crazy, so there's this like organic vibe across the team, and when this translates into the live action movie, is going to be insane. That's the only thing I can say.
that's for sure. I
Yeah.
think it will be amazing. I want to see it now.
We want to see it. I've been waiting
Yeah,
for 2 years, man.
yeah.
You can't imagine
I
it.
can't wait that long.
Oh,
Okay. Any questions on this, Stuart, Andrija there in the chat?
I'll just give him a chance in the chat, see if he's going to type anything in.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Stuart.
Yeah, go on. I've got a couple more then. I mean, obviously, I know you're probably still working on this then as well. I mean, for Kevin, obviously, you say about locations and everything. I mean, obviously, I know you say cinematography's been sort of what you've done since you've left school and everything.
yeah.
Oh wait, so I'll do this one. I'll let the chat pick up. Yeah, I mean, finding locations. I mean, how do you try and find stuff that's local to you, or you try and find the right place for the right shots?
Usually, it's like I've been traveling a lot, like my whole life, because of my parents started it because of work and stuff. Also, like when I study, I finished it in when I doing my master. I did it in New York. And also in the Netherlands, we got those how do you say it? The travel passes. So when you're a student, you can travel for free with everything, with the train, bus, everything here. So I use that a lot also. So I already know, not know, but I usually make pictures of locations where I think like, oh, this cool for this cool for that. And the main problem that we're gonna, yeah, how do you say that, the main problem we're gonna have is like permission and some paperwork of, because the, yeah, in the Netherlands, the whole government, if you're gonna shoot, especially with like props like weapons or gear, people usually gonna call 911 here. So you need to do a lot of permission paperwork beforehand to use a location. But mostly when I walk somewhere, and everything is possible here if there's like money, because yeah, you need to pay a lot of for those permission. But because I also like got connections, and the other people in the crew also got connection, we can make it work for locations, because everybody got something in their mind when we ask them. Yeah, we look like an alleyway or like something with where we can put a van in it. But it's, I don't know, some locations just hang in my hand, and I just like look for the same character as, like Gabriel asked me for an alley. But the thing is like many alleys in the Netherlands are like small. You can just put like 2 bicycles in it. So how do you find the right one? Yeah, the Netherlands is like tall people but small. Everything is small, even the cars. So, but it's a good question, because the whole work on searching location itself is a whole, not journey, but a whole, how do you say that, progress itself. It's it's difficult, but it's also rewarding when you get the permission, and also like knowing that you don't get the police every 5 minutes because we're shooting. So
Yeah,
been there, done that.
especially now with
Yeah,
the pandemic. It's like
yeah,
back in the day they would ask just for the props. Right now they will
yeah,
ask what you doing there.
yeah,
But yeah, on that, we have a partnership, a partner that has been with us for well, almost the beginning of the project. We are getting. Do you guys remember that scene from The Matrix when Neo goes into this white place and the gun racks just start showing around? Well, that's what this partner did with us. It's like, man, we want to do this. We're going to be revealing a little bit more on that in the next couple of months, just for you guys to know. But yeah, this guys said, okay, here's the gun rack. This is all yours. Just grab whatever you want. And
yeah,
that was amazing. They have an amazing location. We're gonna shoot some interior scenes there, and maybe some exteriors as well. We're planning on those details right now. We had a meeting last Wednesday with the whole Netherlands team, not only Kevin but also Gregor and Josh, which are the Double Helix team on this. Well, they are Mills and Jagger, so um, that's basically what we're going to do, and we're going to be revealing a couple of things there. We're already on the first steps on shooting the first live action stuff shortly, and then we're going to be using those locations. So yeah, but it has been an issue on my end. The thing is that here in Uruguay, we don't have basically restrictions uh, before and during the pandemic. So it's a little bit hard. It was a little bit hard for me to basically understand the limitations that the guys had there in the Netherlands. When we shot
yeah,
Monolith's Whisper back in the day, I do remember going to public places with the props and everything, like to a public park, and like there were like people walking around with their kids and whatnot, and we were the AK-47s and the
yeah,
the gas masks and whatnot, and nobody asked a question. It's like, no, 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 guys, they saw the camera and they were like, okay, they got to be doing something, but nobody cared. It was like
Yeah.
they're shooting a movie, they're doing having fun and whatnot. But yeah, I understand that in civilized countries there are restrictions. We trespassed on a couple of places. So the stalker movie was a real stalker movie. One of the comments that
Yeah.
that I got to see a couple of months ago is like, this doesn't look like a movie, it looks like a mockumentary. And if you come to think about it, it pretty much was because we were
Yeah.
trespassing left and right on abandoned places. We did get permission for some of those. I mean, escorted by the military and whatnot. So it gave that feeling of the cordon, like the
Yeah.
military outpost and whatnot. But in this case, it's a whole different story. So, and yeah, it's not going to be the same kind of production. I mean, Monolith's Whisper, as I was saying before, it's that path of the creator. I look back at it as something nice. I have fond memories of, but it's so amateur and so. I mean, it has heart, but it lacks technique. And the quality we're aiming here is Netflix quality. I mean, it's something that could be perfectly streamed anywhere. And I mean, it wouldn't. You would see something made by a huge studio and not just a small crew. So it's going to be a whole different thing. I don't know if that covers your question, Stuart.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it covers it up pretty well. I mean, appreciate it. It's nice to have that real feeling that you guys suffer the same problems that we do doing amateur shoots and stuff, then trespass and people looking at you dodgy. You say about props, and you imagine how I feel. I'm in the UK, so getting props for stuff like this is just
Yeah.
forget it.
It's a way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta ask for permissions on a knife prop, I guess.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing where we're trying to keep everything, every location, as private as possible. Try to have a private property. So the only permissions to be asked is just letting the police know it's like, okay, we're going to be shooting something here. They're going to be props and whatnot, but it's not like a public place. There are some scenes in public places, like, well, not to spoil the other chapters, but the ones you have already read, chapter 1, 2, and 3 just happen in the street. I mean, there's an alley, there's a car scene, there's a bar, so there's sort of like the I.F.R.I.T headquarters, that kind of stuff. Well, the restrictions are mostly because of COVID. But when it comes to the props, and we're going to have an insane amount of props and all kinds of props, we got the gas grenades and whatnot. So obviously, it's not like you're gonna just walk into into the woods and start throwing grenades and whatnot. So we're gonna keep some order in that.
Yeah.
Okay, going to Andreja's question in the chat. He says, I'm really interested in the whole process of designing characters. Where do you draw inspiration from? Well, that's a question that goes back to the books, because when we the characters that you have in the books, there are no new characters in Extraction Code Different when it comes to the core of the Nordisk Incident universe. This is something that happens many years before. In fact, if you, I don't know, Stuart, you got to read the books, right? And Andrija as
Yeah, I've got
well.
copies.
Andrija did, because he worked on the Serbian translation for it. So the thing is that we took we understood that adapting the books to film would be a multi-million project. That's a thing. I mean, we have 5 characters on each one of those, lots of locations, Eastern Europe, special effects and whatnot. That would be a dream. If in a couple of years we can achieve it, it would be in the roadmap if we succeed with this, most likely. Um, but yeah, the thing is, how the question, I guess I will have to twist it to how did I get inspiration to write the characters back in the day? So here's the thing: I wrote the books while I was going back and forth from work. The Nordisk Incident books were written in the bus, and I worked on them, corrected them at home. The translation, the English translation was kind of the weak point of the project, which I'm polishing right now. It's coming out properly and nicely. Also, I'm adding more details on some things to give it a little more consistency on that. But what I did as part of the creative process, and you might laugh at me, guys, feel totally free to do so. I sort of like chose different rock bands as I was writing the books. So each one of the books, as you can see, has a different vibe. Like the Ifrit Black Box book is more like Call of Duty. It's like the Smirks and the plane and whatnot, and shooting this and there and blah blah blah, big guns, and lots of ammo, lots of action and whatnot. What I used to listen back in the day while writing that one, Black Box, was 30 Seconds to Mars. I don't know if you guys know and like the band. uh,
Oh my god,
yeah,
those were the days.
yeah. That was sort of like the backtrack while I was writing that one. For science logs, to be honest, I can't remember. I can't remember what I used to listen. Most likely something dark, like dark ambient music, because that's sort of like the vibe, like mystery and there's like fear from the scientists. Most of the time, they're like, "Yeah, let's go and let's do this," and then they start chickening out. And it's a whole different thing in that end. But as for the characters themselves, I mean, I had to write 20 characters for the whole thing, and the hard part was not to each one of them have like a different personality, not seeing one character being a clone to the other. So each one of them had its own humor, its own backstory, its own sort of like approach to things. When it comes to Ifrit, some of them are more calculating, more on the think about the strategy side. Some of them are just pull the trigger side, based on the background. If you come to think about the Ifrit crew, like the Nora Skinston book Ifrit crew, you got Mills, which is medic and support. That's part of the context that is given in the comic. But then you have, speaking about UK, Jepson it was a riot police. It was riot police in the UK. So he talks about like suppressing demonstrations and whatnot, and how that changes mind. So it's like to give characters depth and to have them connect with the reader. There's got to be a connection to reality at some point. So that's what I thought. I was like, okay, if a top merc, um, I would say, organization was to pick people, what kind of people would they pick, and what kind of variety would they need? Okay, they need a nerd, and a guy with a super IQ for the tech stuff, so they got Peng. Then you need someone that can go like the basher type, so that's Jepson. The character that didn't get developed too much was Jagger, because as you guys might know, so I'm not spoiling anything. Chapter 2 of Black Box, he dies miserably, shot by his own team on that sort of like space time anomaly, to call it somehow, that like stops radio waves and whatnot. So my decision for the comic was, okay, let's do Jagger a little bit more. Let's go deeper on what happens, and the way that everything within the Norris Incident universe connects is that you get sort of like chunks. It's like a huge mechanism with cogs all over the place, and for example, when you I don't know what your impressions are, because from a writer standpoint, I cannot tell that just by feedback. It's like, okay, how was Jagger's death to you? Was it shocking? Was it not? Was the character developed enough? But that by then, was it just dead meat when he got killed? Was it a surprise? It all depends on many things. If you read that book first, and that was the first death that you encountered, or if you already read the other three books and you had like a bunch of people dead already. It's like, okay, this guy is gonna get killed in chapter 2. He died like the rest.
In chapter 2, he died like the rest. So
That's how kind of like
that's how
Norsk incident works.
kind
Your
of
experience.
Norsk incident
Oh,
works.
wait a second.
Your experience.
I'm
wait a
getting
second.
feedback on your end.
I'm getting feedback on your end, Fabri.
Very quick. So that's the thing. The Norsk incident reading experience works that way. Depending on where you start and how you consume the material, is how your experience is. So in terms of Jagger, there was a backstory originally in the book, and that's what's here in the comic. You're gonna get to know Jagger much more throughout the comic and the movie, and whoever enters this universe through the comic is going to feel Jagger's death much more when they read I.F.R.I.T. Black Box. So that's a complex thing about the whole, like the big picture. There's a bunch of spin-off material here. Extraction is just one of them. There's a map of 8 different things on the roadmap. So this universe is huge, and where you start, what your start point is going to define. You're going to meet with someone 5 years from now, and they're gonna have read the same thing and watch the same movie and read the comic and whatnot, but their experience is going to be absolutely different from anyone else's, and that's a cool thing about it. I don't know if that answers your question, Andrija. Okay. Any more questions there? Ashelen, welcome to the session here. I don't know, Favri, do you want to say anything? I had to mute you because I was getting feedback.
Okay. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, loud and clear, man.
Okay. Well, I remember that I was reading the books, and well, it blew my mind, you know, and I think the Norrisk incident is a really good story, and I don't know if you think about turn it into a movie or something in the future.
Well, my dream is that it can be turned into. I think it wouldn't be fit for a movie, just one movie. It would be more like it would be fit like a TV show, you know, because there are too many chapters and there's too many things involved in it. What I think would be the best way to put it live would be sort of like a TV series where you have one chapter of each book being told alternatively. So in that sense, you're giving the whole context. You're not telling just one line of the story, but I don't know. I understand that this would be a multi-million project, which we don't have right now. Uh, we would need funding from the industry. But I do hope and see that this might happen. I don't know when, but I really hope it does at any point. And your support now, guys, is key to that. So there's plenty of path. This is barely starting. That's what I'm perceiving here. And I would love. It would be like a dream come true to see this on the screen. There are many really good works out there, but the movie industry is also thirsty for new stuff. We're seeing remakes of remakes of remakes of the remake, and it's like you have Spider-Man 10, but it's the same movie remade 9 times.
And, or like the whole Suicide Squad. Like, if you watch the comics, they aren't like the superhero, and they put now like in the spotlight of the superhero.
Yeah,
with the new Suicide Squad.
So the thing is that I mean, there is lots of room for this, and I mean the I try to make something unique, because if I would have written just one book without this reading mechanism of depending on how you start reading it is how the experience is, it would be just one book around. Um, I haven't got the word out too much. I haven't publicized. I'm going to start publicizing in a couple of months once the translation is ready. But well, things are going to come in due time. I think we're going to improve ourselves with the live action movie, with Extraction, the quality we can achieve, the level of professionalism that we can deal with, and everything will come in due time. And just for you to know, I know that, well, Kevin and Fabricio know about this. There's a roadmap. I don't know if I have it at hand, but I might give you a sneak peek just for being here, guys. Let me see if I have, um, where is it? I have a map of, well, maybe I can just find it while you guys answer some questions. The roadmap. I have a sort of like an overview of everything planned for Nordisk Incident. So the books that are currently published are the beginning of a trilogy. There are two more full books, 400, 500 pages to wrap up the story that happens in Nordisk. And then there's going back from the Nordisk Incident across every faction. Uh, Enough material for different books or comics or movies on different missions. Each book mentions different missions, like if we're going, well, extract, I.F.R.I.T. Black Box begins, sorry, Extraction Code Different begins of them talking about a Bangkok mission. So that Bangkok mission is a separate thing that has impact on the character story, on everything. So everything is tied together, and it's a huge, it's a massive, it's a massive story, massive universe, and it goes way deeper on each one of the characters' story and context and personality and everything. So yeah, there are gonna be some twists at the end of Extraction, which are gonna give you that. They're gonna transmit that kind of feeling of depth of character. So I don't know if you have more questions, Stuart. While I look up for this diagram, I'm trying to find here.
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, I don't know who else will know about it. I was just having a quick flick through some of the comics whilst we've just been on this. And one thing that I reminded myself about was at the beginning of the comics, you've got a QR code for the ambient music, which I presume it's something similar to what you've done on the interactive comics. The only frustration for me is, I mean, I've got them up on my computer now, but normally I read the comics when I'm at work. You send the Patreon code, I download it on my phone, but then I can't get the music because I'm on my phone. So yeah, so I've not had a chance to listen to that yet. So I've got to give that one a go at some point. But yeah, I mean, is that just going to be background music, or is it going to be like ambient sounds like you did with the interactive Code I.F.R.I.T books and Black Box?
It's both. That's a really good question. And to be honest, what I've been researching is how to have the QR, but also when we create the PDF file that you can click where the QR is, so you can
Sure.
launch the track. I've been doing a couple of tests on that, but yeah, I mean, if you chapter one, it's just a little bit of soundtrack in the beginning and just that. We're going to make some adjustments on when we release a paperback, and we might do a re-release digitally. Okay, so you guys can get an updated version if we do this. But yeah, it's music, and depending on the chapter, there's also sound. This particular one, chapter 5, it has two tracks. It has sort of like an introduction track, the typical one that in the intro page, thanking you guys for your support and the chapter title and whatnot. That one has just music. but there's another QR in the middle of the chapter when like the hardcore action begins, and that
Change
one
of
has,
pace.
yeah, that one has everything. It has like background music, but you have the shots and the flashbangs and blah blah blah, all the things. I don't want to spoil it to you, but it's full ambient. You know, it's like everything, like glass breaking and when the bullets ricocheting off like wood and metal. Um, so yeah, it's more like the application than just like a background music. It's
Yeah.
what I'm trying, what I want people to experience is like the highest amount of immersion possible. That's what I want.
Yeah, I mean, just for some feedback, I'm sure you've had it probably off others, but when I've read the interactive comics, it's amazing how well it times and sequences with it. Because I appreciate everyone reads at a different speed. Some people quite slow, taking all the detail. Other people trying to scan through it quite quickly. But obviously, you've managed to, on that one, have a bit of a loop on it. So when you change pages, it starts onto the next track, if you like. And I'm sure times I've sort of sat on a page and okay, let's see what happens with the sound. And there's no hard cut line as if like, okay, you've got to the end, you should have finished reading by now. So yeah, it does transition quite smoothly. So yeah, good feedback on that from a user's point of view.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you have more control in the application because, well, obviously, since each page is a scene, you can say, okay, in this scene, then you have this or that. The part I enjoy the most is the sewers encounter with this like the spider-like creature. You hear like the gunshots echoing across, echoing through the sewers, you know, and the bullet cases like tingling in the floor, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it took a lot of time. I mean, to be honest, like when it came to designing the application, I would say like 60% of the time was not coding, was not writing, was not graphic design. It was sound design all the time. I had to time the thing 1,000 times over. It's like, it's too short, it's too long, it's too this, it's too that. In the comic, we don't have that kind of control because it would break the tempo as you are like scrolling pages and watching everything to have you scan a QR code every two pages. See what I mean? So in that case, yeah, when I created the tracks, it took me more time to test the tracks than to actually make them because I had to read the chapter like 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know how many times until I sort of like I hit the sweet spot between reading the text and enjoying the art because I don't want to rush you to the art. I mean, you're gonna see that's one thing that Fabricio might want to talk about, the incremental quality as chapter goes by, because he's improving on the way as well, like every artwork. So this particular one, to be honest, I sent a screenshot to Fabricio last night. It kind of looked like a Adobe Premiere project, like cuts here and there, like 6 tracks and the whole thing. But yeah, I try to time it to that. So like put the bar in the middle between reading the text, enjoying the art. But what I would suggest from a creator standpoint is just read the comic like in a natural flow, and then with the soundtrack, and then had a really nice look at it. Enjoy all the art, the details, and everything. So like do 2 scans of the thing, like a regular scan through it, and then just a detailed scan to enjoy every single thing. Like the gun details, I love. I mean, Fabricio's work is amazing. Just take a look at this. I mean, you can zoom in the thing and you have everything. It's nuts. I mean, the gun work on this. If I scroll up here, you got like the hollow sight up there and whatnot. It's crazy. I mean, what I like in the computer is just zooming in on each one of the pages, loving all those details. You're here as well, so.
Yeah, no,
But
I mean, props to Fabricio for the artwork. I mean, is it your style and you're choosing to do it in black and white, Fabricio, or was that directed from you, Gabriel?
Fabricio, your call, man. This one's yours.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm a little bit nervous. Um, well, thank you if you like it. And no, my style, I don't know how to describe it because I've been building it uh, a lot of years. I'm still practicing. Uh, I don't know if this is my definitive uh, artwork style, but I don't know. It's kind of. I think it's still really hard for me to, put the details in their place um, most of the time. But I think this particular style, I think it works really well for this kind of story. I don't know if Gabriel thinks the same.
Yeah, what the feedback I've got spread across different places is that, and I think it's spot on. This noir uh, looks, it's like dark by itself. If it would be regular fantasy, like I don't know, dragons and swords and whatnot, I don't know if it would be the appropriate thing. But this being a story that goes darker and darker as each chapter goes forward, Kevin is laughing because he's probably thinking about some parts of the script. Um, is for me is spot on. It's like the artwork, the kind of artwork which is going to happen. Fabricio, thinking about chapter 4, there was one scene that he told me he really enjoyed working on. That it was that the execution scene in chapter 4 when they do that flashback and they sort of like wipe out the drug dealers in Asia. That was like, for me, I totally agree with that. It has that dark vibe and the dark art like blend together in the scene, and it's like, oh man, this is dark people in a dark story. So I think that it's absolutely spot on in that sense, indeed.
I mean, the final point for me on the sort of comics and art style, I mean, Fabricio, really well done, man. I mean, the facial expressions, the details, if it looks great. I mean, my brother, he's not into the stalker and post-apocalyptic stuff, but he's a big comic book fan, and I've shown him a few bits from this, and yeah, he's been blown away. He said it reminds him of sort of the old Spawn and older style comics that he's used to read. So yeah, massive well done from a few people over here, man. Keep it up.
How about that, Fabri?
Thanks, man. I appreciate a lot your support, and I hope you still enjoying the next chapters. Chapter 5 will have a little delay, but it will get released next week. So stay tuned. You appear in it, so hope you enjoy it.
That's
Yeah. We have had some delays, obviously, on Fabricio's loss, and that was a big hit. And out here and in public, a big shout out for him. He kept working. I mean, he took a couple of weeks off to sort of like get up on his feet, and obviously, most likely, he's still healing. But I mean, he's a warrior. He's been there day and night. I understand when Fabricio sent me the draft for this chapter, I understood why. Besides, we're dragging that delay from chapter 4. I understood why it's taking so long. What you're saying, Stuart, facial expressions and action and all that. This is an action chapter, so it has so many little details, so many things that you have to take into account. There's one part and detail on the smoke, and it was like, oh wow, this looks so good. Like the guy coming out of the smoke, that kind of stuff is crazy, you know. And if you do it like the easy way or the cheap or the lame or the lazy way, it's like, yeah, okay, this is the way it is, that's that, you know, we gotta get it on time, or our deadline is the end of the month, and that's it, so we rush it. But we don't want to rush things. We want this to be like a piece of art. Every piece of every frame of the comic to be a piece of art. So we rather be delayed and deliver something of quality than just say, okay, we're rushing it towards the deadline. Here's your stuff, dump it on you guys, and that's that. We want you guys to have a quality thing. So I'd rather say sorry for being delayed than to say sorry because it doesn't look all right.
No, I totally agree. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's always complications in any project that we do, home, work, personal. So yeah, no, like I say, I mean,
Yeah.
appreciate that you guys have kept the quality up.
Yeah, and the thing is that, I mean, we're the good thing about this IP, and which I'm going to hesitate if any at any time comes over and tries to buy it, is to hand over rights to corporations, because that's what happens when the corporate world gets a hand on something nice, they ruin it. That's it. It's like deadline driven. It's like this has to be out by I don't know, August 30th, and that's that. It doesn't matter if it's garbage, if it's not. We have control over this. And again, I'd rather say sorry and deliver something that is a delight to watch and see and read than just like, okay, guys, rush it. This is McDonald's, so get your $1 menu and get out. You know, it doesn't work that way to me. So yeah, basically that's the thing. Uh, just on what I was saying before, can you see my screen there, guys, real quick? I don't want to spoil the whole thing. Otherwise, I will be basically spoiling everything. But Nora's Incident, the books you have read so far are just this part of the thing. See it there? Here are the 4 books, but everything you see around it, okay, every single piece of thing here is part of the whole universe. So it's 2 more books after Nordisk Incident, which are not going to work in the same way. These are going to be linear books, okay, with some mechanics in the middle that you can play around with. But then you have 2 stories on the Marauders, two spin-offs of the Marauders, one about the heist. Remember that they mentioned a bank heist where some of their partners died and whatnot. Well, there's a bank heist there, so it's something not fiction. It's just action and thrill. Nothing to do with supernatural stuff and whatnot. Just regular people in a regular world raiding a bank. Then you get the Chernobyl raids. Then Ex Professo has 4 different spin-offs together with Extraction, and I.F.R.I.T has 4 counted with Extraction. So there are, in this case, for example, you might remember from the books that at the middle or end of both I.F.R.I.T Black Box and Ex Professo Science Logs, they recognize each other. The I.F.R.I.T guys recognize Shatapov, and then the Ex Professo scientist Irina and Alterman recognize the I.F.R.I.T helmet lying on the ground. So they knew each other from previous missions. One of them is Extraction, the comic, and the other one is the Chelyabinsk crash site. So that's another spin-off. And there's one more thing which I can't tell you about, which is on the works right now, which is also related to the universe, the Nordisk Incident universe. But there's a lot of derivative works on this. The 4 books and the comic you have right now in the movie are just the beginning of everything. And to be honest, I do not intend to stop until we reach the big screens. So I'm going to write until I get absolutely rejected or absolutely accepted by 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 the thing. And that, yeah, there's a lot to share and enjoy on this. And I always keep deep respect and love for those that supported things from the beginning. So most likely going to be dropping a crazy amount of freebies in the future whenever these projects start as well. So thanks for your permanent support on this, guys. I don't know. Do you guys have more questions? Stuart, Andrija, any questions you'd like to drop to Kevin, Fabricio? I think I've talked too much on this session.
Sure. I'll see if he jumps in the chat again and let you pick those up. But yeah, I mean, going back with Kevin, obviously on your film sets and everything. So I'm trying to think how to phrase this one or whatever. Obviously, we talked about obviously how you find the right sets for things. I mean, prop design. I mean, I know Gabriel mentioned earlier that you got some partners helped you with sort of supplying things. But yeah, I mean, just go through some of the costume design, because I presume you're taking care of all that costumes, props.
Yeah, also like with the main characters, they are mostly the guys that also know about like where to take the props and where to like the whole costume, how to match it, and where to find those specific like uniform parts. So usually when they got the whole a piece of the prop, they usually send pictures to me so I can know like, okay, like kind of fabric and also like the whole color of it, because what I from my experience, usually when I shoot a movie like in a dark alley and some props that we wanna like the logo of the code I.F.R.I.T stuff, you usually don't see the whole detail of that prop, especially when we are wanted to give the prop like the introduction in the movie, or the prop is most like the key thing to like to diehard followers to know, oh, that's between the books and the whole spin-off. So it's kind of difficult to match the whole, how do you say that, the whole composition. But the guys working really hard to find the exact, how do you say that, not the composition but the whole look to match the whole setting, also the whole feel, because everybody can put some army clothes and just go full stalker, but to match the color scheme with the right camo and stuff, it requires a lot of work, because with some snow camo pouches on a like an Islam camouflage, it doesn't match really well. So
that's it. It's getting it all to tie together, isn't it?
Yeah, it's every day, especially with a movie like this and a camera like what we use now. We need to think every small detail. Even though if you wear like an undershirt, a shirt under the whole props, and it wears like a band shirt, it doesn't. You can easily see there's something there, and it doesn't match with the other scenes that we're gonna shoot. So we need to think about everything. It's almost like Elon Musk going to Mars, you know, you need to think about everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I love airsoft. So once you get into, and I also like my dad was a policeman. He passed away before finishing his service, but he was a policeman for 33 years on different things. He started in like countryside stations. Then he got transferred to the city. Then he led investigations for 9 years. Then he was in charge of riot police in the two main jails here in Uruguay. So at home there was always that. So like I always looked at him and those little details. And the way he talked about weapons, he never let me touch one. My first contact with guns, with real guns, was going to over here. The army does this 1 day thing every year, so you can go and like do the like eat at the barracks, and like go in the drive the vehicles and shoot the guns and whatnot. So that was my first experience with real guns. And one thing I hate from movies is like when they have this uh, story-wise, this badass mercs and whatnot, or this badass like riot police, like SWAT and whatnot, and they're grabbing the guns like this. It's like, no man, that's not the way you grab the gun. They're like, those little details are the ones that when someone that is hardcore fan of something watch watches a movie or reads a book or watches a TV series and sees that, and everything loses credibility uh, in just 1 second. So that's what
Yeah.
we wanna. That's what we don't want to do here. We want to
Yeah, I
take care
saw
of every
I
single
s-
detail. Yeah, go ahead.
I saw like a new movie. I don't know what's it called, but it's gonna be on Netflix. That with how what's the actor's name? But they are going to like the future to fight the aliens, and they need weapons to shoot aliens at long range. But the whole when you see the gun, oh my god, they're using like an M4 based platform with a sniper stock on it with a short barrel. They want to the maker said that they don't need 308s, but they only need 556 with an ACOG scope. Like, why it doesn't match the whole vibe and the whole what you want to do with the weapon. So that's kind of like for me when I saw like the whole trailer of it, I was like, okay, I'm out. I don't want to watch this. It doesn't
Yeah,
match.
that's the thing. One of the things that the well, I was sort of like in that place when we started the project. When I was taking a look at camo and whatnot for the I.F.R.I.T uniform, because one thing is to have it in the books. I mean, you read the books and you basically dress them. It's like, okay, the most badass merc uniform I can put these guys on. You sort of like
Yeah.
imagine it. Like over here, like film and comic, they become explicit. So it's in the comic, we have some freedom of that because, well, you get to see the gear and whatnot. But again, if you're shooting 6K, you get the camera back there, Kevin. When you're
Yeah,
shooting
yeah,
6K and close-ups, it's like, oh, okay. Don't tell me these guys are a multi-millionaire merc organization. They have like a $50 uh,
scope on it or
a
something.
scope on it. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the mission when it comes to the guns, but just on the clothes and the customization, it's not like you went to the military surplus store and you bought whatever it was on discount, and and then you're the super merc. Those details. I mean, Josh and Gregor, which are in charge of these details, told me, no, man, doesn't go that way. We gotta buy this specific one with this specific other because this kind of mission is gonna be blah blah blah. They told me when I imagined the guns that we were going to use, I was like, okay, maybe assault rifles and some high caliber handguns, and Josh said no. One of them needs to have an assault rifle with this, and that. The other one is going to have a submachine gun with this, and that. Because, well, obviously, you're not gonna be but hitting someone in a
Yeah.
melee combat with a sniper rifle. That's not going to happen. You're going to use it. You can swing it as an axe, but but you're going to get shot like 30 times as you're doing it. So those details are being taken care of as well.
I'm looking for that movie. I don't know what's the name. It's Fighting Future Aliens or something. What's the name?
We'll look it up. But for
Oh my
example,
god.
one kind of indie, because I know, I mean, that probably had a huge budget. Is, I don't know if you got to see it, guys. I know Kevin did because we were talking about it a little bit. But for Escape from Tarkov, Raid, this like
Yeah.
short movie they released by Parts, it was insane. I mean, the gunfights and everything are so realistic, and everything. The clothes are dirty. That's one of the things that we
Yeah.
got criticized so hard about Monolith's Whisper when we released the first things, and that was 48p. Sorry, 480p. I can't imagine in 6K. It's like
Oh my god.
it's like, man, what are you doing? The clothes are clean. What's the deal with that? I mean, if you're entering the zone or if you're starting the mission, that's all right. But
1 second, by the way. I need
yeah.
to check something.
No problem. But as you're going further into the mission, you're gonna get blood splattered, you get full of mud, you're gonna get full of like dirt and leaves and whatnot. So what we did back then was every shooting day we had this like this jerry can full of water. We would make a puddle of mud and we will roll over it, roll around it, so we got dirty, you know. So over here, yeah, you already saw chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna have some more things. We're gonna have like fake blood to be splattered and dirt and whatnot, people like throwing in the ground, that kind of thing we want to take care as well, because we want it to look as if this would be a movie shot with $1 million budget. But that's basically the idea here. Okay. Any more questions? Stuart, Andrija, if you want to drop anything in the chat. We don't want to take more time of on your end, guys. So let's do, I don't know, maybe 10 more minutes and wrap it up.
Yeah, no worries, man. I was going to say, I mean, I'll work well for me. I'm going to have to jump off, carry on with my day-to-day life in a minute as well.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, just to see if he answers anything else in the chat. Obviously, you mentioned Double Helix. So this is the airsoft team that are helping you with it all. So, I mean, they're based in Netherlands. Are they local with Kevin?
Yeah.
Sorry, just
Double Helix.
Kevin, I was just asking about Double Helix. So Kevin, did you know Double Helix before you started on the project with Gabriel, or is that something that's come about from it? You've worked with them on other things?
Yeah, like there's I've been like doing some like shootings in the before when we first time meet with Josh. He's like the head of the Helix. He already saw like my pictures, like the post-apocalyptic stuff back then. I also do like a lot of like camping, urbexing and stuff. But we met each other on a Facebook group called like the Dutch Wastelanders, and there it started. And after that, he introduced me with the books, and I like the books because there's like not many of them, even in series, and not many of the books in the subcategory apocalyptic. There's not like a whole universe around it.
Yeah.
And then he introduced me to the books, and I was already like hooked on that. And yeah, that's like the first time I met Josh, and after that Gregor, and we did some airsoft stuff. And later on, they introduced me. No, I didn't know how I and Gabriel meet each other again. How did you meet?
Yeah, it was through Josh. Josh had read it. I think he got the extraction the I.F.R.I.T black box giveaway on Christmas 2016, I think. So he got in contact with the books there, and then we got in touch in 2018, and well, there it all started. And then he introduced me. It's like, hey man, we got this guy, this awesome guy. He shoots stuff and whatnot. He showed me your material, and I was like, oh man, these are really nice reels he's got.
That was like the beginning of my career, though.
Well, but again, I mean, we're going back, circling back to what we were saying before. It's the beginning, and you look at that, and you see, it's like, okay, that was the best I could achieve back then. But it's, I mean, just that, I was like, wow, this guy has got talent. He's got that. I don't know, the transitions of in your reels, the framing, the transitions, the blending with the music and everything seems so organic and so spot on, like some post-apoc, like woods and that kind of stuff. I was like, yeah, man, I love that. And when I saw the reel for Double Helix with the gas grenades and whatnot, and then the other one with the which you edited that had this
sensor bulk,
like the sensor bulk and everything with the guns. Oh, I was like, man, that's so cool. And yeah, that's what I got. This is one of your I have some pictures here from Double Helix. There we go.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of those. This is the one that we're using so far. This is the original one.
Oh, you can screen share, by the way.
Oh yeah, just give me a second. I think let me see. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like one of our first shoots at the when we started meeting each other.
Yeah,
That's
but
good.
it's nice. I mean, it's really, really tight quality. Let me see if I have the other one here. I have a whole bunch of folders for this.
I found the movie finally, The Tomorrow War, with what's his name again? Chris Pratt. With about the props and stuff. Yeah, that one was like before the Corona crisis.
Yeah, yeah. This is 2020, January 2020. But if you take a look at things, I mean, take a look at the knee pads over here. Dirty, wasted. Used. Yeah, it's all used. Yeah. So it's that feeling, you know, like gives you credibility when you have it. But it's I mean, it's super cool. These are just I mean, it's crazy. We have a whole bunch of things. But well, as for live action, just for you guys to know, we are planning on let me get some controls back. I missed everything here. Oh man, I get dizzy with Zoom. We are planning to release some information soon on live action stuff we're gonna start working on. I don't know, Kevin, if you want to mention anything right now, reveal anything.
Wait, one thing about like the props and stuff. Wait, I need to share this. How do you host disabled participant screen share?
Oh, wait a second.
How did you do it? Why did you? No. Well,
I'll make you host real quick. You want to share your screen?
Yeah, please.
There you go, man.
You're the host now. Let me see. Screen share to. Yes, this one. So about like the props, I don't know if you can see this. Like this gun, what I mentioned, like look at that stock and the whole like foregrip, like why? Just why? They're shooting aliens with a small caliber thing that looks like a sniper rifle. It looks like bulky, but I saw like the whole interview. They just wanted something that looks like compact but cool at the same time. And in reality, it's like not that practical.
You're gonna get you're gonna get smoked in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like when I saw like the whole reaction of people, many people are like reacting negatively about the whole props idea. Like also like it's too clean, like too new. It doesn't match the whole scenario where they're fighting in. Like you got to see that they are fighting at the bridge, and he can just hit everything that's around 500 meters and above. I'm like, how can you shoot like that far and like those kind of penetration power? And it doesn't match the whole reality of it. It also is like a sci-fi movie, I know, but it doesn't like match the whole feel. Like the realism is just gone. Even it's a sci-fi, it's just gone for me. And that's why I want to like achieve the when you got some guys that really knows about weapons or the whole, I want to I want to just stay realistic. And what I'm like very sad about like living in the Netherlands, if you saw like Escape from Tarkov, the series about, they're using like blanks. So the recoil when they shoot, they got a real recoil, the real muzzle flash, even though the fireball is much bigger than normal. But that's a trick that we need to use. Like in the filming, we got like many tricks to achieve like the real feeling, real feedback and stuff. But I really like when I saw like the Escape from Tarkov movie, they're using a lot of blanks, a lot of like those flashbang grenades to make a lot of. It looks so real, even though they are using just like flashbangs. Those movie flashbangs, you can throw at it, and it is make a bright flash like a real flashbang, but without the bang itself, just only flash. And in the Netherlands, to achieve those kind of effects or to like get those kind of props, it's very illegal because it falls under the weapon law. And that's why I kind of hate to live here, because in America or in Russia, you can go just do that kind of stuff. And here it's like, we cannot achieve that.
But it's gonna be special effects. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
So, and I need to, when I see something and it's not realistic, it's kind of like blew the whole magic off. So when I don't feel it, it's like organic or real, even after the edit, then I need to like to shoot the whole thing again. And many people in the past where I work with hate me because of that. But then I achieve much more. How to say, the organic feeling, the realism, the whole, it fits in the whole composition. Otherwise, it's just like a random guy with a gun just doing like this, and it looks real or something, but it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
there are some things that, from a cinematic standpoint, need to be added, like the muzzle flashes. Like if guns
yeah.
would shoot like in the movies, I wouldn't touch that gun with a pole, with a 10-foot pole, because that thing's gonna blow in your face if it's doing that
Yeah.
muzzle flashing. That would have to go to maintenance right away. When when you shoot a, I don't know, when you shoot an assault rifle, and you get that amount of muzzle flash, it's either like an old gun or not well maintained. But well, in the movies, if you were to be 100% realistic on muzzle flash, you wouldn't see one. It's like you would hear the sound, but it's like, okay, the gun is doing nothing.
Exactly.
I don't see the bullets. You barely see smoke out of
Yeah.
the barrel, you know. But well, to give it a little bit more taste, you have to add some muzzle flash. That's a thing. But I guess that across the whole movie spectrum, from most realistic to absolutely ridiculous, there is sort of like an like a natural convention of, yeah, guys, we need to add at least a little bit of muscle flash to
Yeah.
give it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just fireballing it.
yeah, spice, a little bit of spice on it. It doesn't
Yeah.
taste well otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for joining. We've kept you for too long over here. We know that you guys are enjoying summer over here in South America. We kind of don't care because it's winter and it kind of sucks. But over there is probably really, really nice Saturday afternoon for you guys to do whatever you want.
We got hail in the summer.
Yeah, it's not much better here, man.
Over here in Uruguay, I mean, Argentina is a huge country. Fabricio knows that. They got up to from desert to glaciers on the south.
Yeah.
But Uruguay is pretty much, well, it's a little bit bigger than the Netherlands. It's like a neighborhood of any big country.
You just drive 3 hours and you are at the end of the
Yeah,
country.
absolutely. I mean, I drove to the Brazilian border a couple of weeks ago, and it was 4 hours. So you can fill your tank and leave the country, which is a
Yeah.
good thing. If everything, I mean, when crap hits the fan, is a good thing. Just have a full tank and just drive anywhere.
True. True.
But it's been so sucky here that we even got snow. Like the third time in 100 years, we got a snow here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the best weather, but yeah, we're trying to enjoy it as much as we can.
Yeah.
But well, guys, thanks for joining today. Thanks, Stuart and Rija, for taking your time. We know that we have other patrons that are either working at this time because they're here in South America. Some people work shifts on Saturday. We have some people in Australia, which is midnight there right now. But we're gonna share this video on the channel, on the yeah, on my YouTube channel, also on social networks, Facebook, Twitter, and whatnot. And well, thank you for your time and your support. It's been a long way for us. It's been a hard and frustrating way as well, especially last year. It
Yeah.
was a real pain not being able to deliver properly and well, dealing with all the mess with COVID-19 and everything. We have had our ups and downs in terms of well, stuff that happened last year. Well, Fabricio's lost this year, but we have overcome every obstacle that we have had so far, and we're really excited to get things rolling. We are getting to a stage when we're gonna start working on the live action stuff. We're super excited about that. We have a surprise that you guys will not imagine. Kevin is grinning a little bit there, but I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna do it right now. And well, Fabricio is gonna keep you posted, guys, on chapter 5. We got the tracks going. He's wrapping up the details. We got to test the final PDF. So the sync and everything goes fine with the tracks. Fabricio, maybe we can try adding the links to the PDF this time, so the guys can punch the QR code if they don't want to scan it, and get to listen to tracks as well.
Yeah, of course. I think it will be better for reading the comic while listening to the ambient sounds and stuff like that.
Excellent. And Will, we're going to discuss internally with the team to try to have more AMAs in the future, especially when we start shooting live action and we start sharing behind the scenes stuff.
Yep.
Most likely, you guys gonna be might want to have a sneak peek of details and whatnot. Most likely, these AMAs are gonna be Patreon only, private AMAs. Because well, you'll be sort of like insiders to the project in that sense. But yeah, we want to share as much as we can without spoiling the thing. That's sort of like the hard boundary for us. It's like we want to share everything and spoil everything right now, but it would really ruin the experience. So
Yeah, it's
so,
kind of difficult to talk about
Yeah.
something without letting know everything. So
yeah, but yeah, we're kind of biting our tongues on many things. But well, we'll keep you posted on
Yes.
all that. But well, guys, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. We really hope you're enjoying everything we have released so far, the comic, the apps. We would love to hear any feedback you have, positive or negative. To be honest, I'm more interested in negative feedback to know what I can improve on. I mean, I really appreciate the positive feedback. It's a huge morale boost when that happens. Get to know that people are happy and enjoying everything. But I also value negative feedback. It's negative feedback that has made me what I am today. I can take negative criticism. I know that I'm evolving every time I work on something, every time I iterate on something. So I'm always open to anything. Okay, we got the buddy there. What's the name of your dog, Stuart?
Dog's name's Zelek.
Selek?
Yeah, he's Polish dog. So yeah, he's going to want to go for a walk. So yeah, I shall let you guys wrap things up.
Yeah.
Are you going to
Okay.
take?
It's a cute one.
Okay.
Okay,
No
guys.
worries.
Well, take
Cheers,
care.
everyone.
Yeah, take care. Have a good one,
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.